Hi, I'm Bridget Walsh with 100 Miles North. This is 5 Minutes With. I'm here with Andrew Faust from the Center for Bioregional Living in Ellenville, New York. And we're really excited to be here today and talk a little bit about permaculture. So Andrew, tell us how you got involved in permaculture and what your journey has been in discovering how permaculture has many, many solutions for healing our planet.
Sure. Largely, initially, my attraction to permaculture was through being a teacher and an educator, and I was teaching at a free school in Pennsylvania about ecological issues and empowering high school students to be able to address them. And this program became available at one of the oldest intentional communities in the United States called The Farm. And at The Farm, Stephen Gaskin and Ina May Gaskin, Ina May being more well known for a book written called Spiritual Midwifery, is where I studied permaculture design with Peter Bain and Chuck Marsh, who started Earth Haven, which is a permaculture eco-village outside of Asheville. Those classes then informed me as a teacher how to really teach a broader vision of what are the ecological solutions that my students could then have a tangible sense of. So after those classes, I met David Harper through Brandywine Conservancy, who we've started the Permaculture Living Lands Trust with. And David and I did things like reforestation with native species in riparian zones with my high school students. We went and volunteered on biodynamic orchards, and we went and visited an old Quaker guy, Artie Yateman, who has a passive solar house that he built himself that now is part of another land trust who was our fiscal sponsor years ago, called School of Living. And that's a lot of my trajectory. And then I moved to West Virginia and created my permaculture PhD project, which was a straw bale house fully off-grid, working adjacent to Patch Adams, where I was creating a permaculture master plan for a free hospital that he's building there in Pocahontas County on 325 acres. And then leapt from there really to Brooklyn to teach how to apply permaculture design to New York City and the region, and have been inspiring people at a more broad scale for the last 14 years in the Hudson Valley and in New York City about the way permaculture really seamlessly applies to cityscapes as well as regional planning to create better food security and energy security.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about what the permaculture principles are and how those apply to easy solutions, both household and governmental, to turn some things around.
Sure. I mean, to me, the most useful permaculture principle is the one that's referred to by energy cycling, and that one gives us an understanding of how to, from a design perspective, tap into free energy first before we start using active systems. And so by doing what I call maximizing our passive systems first, we cut down on the need for active systems. And this type of design approach is largely lacking in the industrial infrastructure due to the engineering systems being focused entirely on high demand, high impact fossil fuel powered active systems to do all kinds of work for us, like heating, cooling, water pressure, that can be supplied often by much lower tech, more elegant and natural systems. For instance, trees planted around buildings decrease sizably the amount of energy that you need to run to keep the building cool. And maximizing the services of biological resources has a huge amount of beneficial effects when you start to apply it across the board throughout highly urbanized and suburbanized landscapes.
Well, speaking of trees, we're here at Catskill Native Nursery in the Hudson Valley, and we're picking out some trees for a client. And Andrew has just told me a little bit about this really interesting tree we have here.
All right.
Tell us a little bit about the pawpaw.
The Asimina triloba. This is the largest native fruit to North America. They have a great planting of them here for people to see who come to Catskill Native Plant Nursery, and to be able to learn about the beauty of these native understory species, which can be, when you're planting something, providing you with shade, providing you with native biodiversity, as well as providing you with some tasty banana flavored type custard fruit. Very excellent example of the way that we can diversify the functions of plantings that we introduce.
I'm Bridget Walsh with 100 Miles North, and this is Andrew Faust. from the Center for Bioregional Living. This is 5 Minutes With.